So Jun, one of the things that was done right away in the trailer and answered a question that's been floating around forever was welcome to Africa. How did the decision come about to make Resident Evil 5 in Africa, and what were some of the challenges of setting the game there?
The main reason that we chose Africa as the setting for Resident Evil 5 is actually from a clue that came up in Resident Evil Code Veronica, where it was revealed that Africa was the origin of the progenitor virus, which is the origin of all the viruses that appear in the series. So when we were deciding to focus the story on the origins of the virus, we pretty much had no choice but to set it in Africa.
So this brings up a really interesting point, which is we're tying back to Code Veronica, but there also seems to be some similarities to what was going on in Resident Evil 4. How does this fit into the overarching Resident Evil series? Will we start to build a bridge between the Umbrella era and whatever the new era is becoming?
Yes, certainly that will be a very important part of the story in the game, and to answer some of those questions, just as you mentioned there. And in terms of the timeline, the game does take place shortly after Resident Evil 4, and I think over the course of the game you will find out what exactly happened to Umbrella, and certainly where the story is going to go from here for the continuation of the series.
So, and Chris was seen here, and this is interesting also as part of the story timelines. What do we know about what he's been up to for the past few years?
Yes, certainly we will be revealing what has happened in the, actually in terms of the storyline. It's been 10 years since the event of Resident Evil 1 before this game takes place. One little hint that we can give you for that is that, well, Chris is no longer a member of STARS, and STARS as an organization itself is defunct. You might see a little mark on his arm that talks about the new organization that he's a member of, and who that organization is and what they're up to. That's something that's going to be another important element of the story, so maybe that's one little hint for you there.
The demo that you gave was one of the most action-packed demos I've seen of any game, whether it was a typical shooter or an adventure game or whatnot. How does the tension get built in a game that has much more action orientation?
In the area that you saw today in the demo is one of the brighter areas in the game, and that's one of the places where a lot of the action that you saw today will be taking place. But as you can probably see myself under these lights, once you have bright areas, you also naturally create dark areas. And in those dark areas, that's where we will be creating the tension and more of the horror elements and creating more of those situations. And then in the light areas, you'll have a lot more action going on, a lot more things happening around you. So those kind of two contrasting and complementing styles will be maybe one of the unique points of Resident Evil 5, and one of the things that you will really stand out about the game.
And also in the trailer we saw the new female character who is going to have everybody asking questions. We know from Resident Evil 2 we had this dynamic of play between back and forth between characters. How have you thought to incorporate her into the game?
In terms of any questions relating to that character, I'm afraid I've been ordered by the company to keep my mouth shut on that. And all I can tell you is that the key word for her is E3.
Secrets. Yes, secrets. Big secrets. I've spoken with several developers in doing shooters about how they develop the artificial intelligence for enemies. And I was fascinated to see the way the townspeople would improvise weapons with lead pipes, and were very adept at moving through the environment. How did you develop the AI? Did you start on your own? What's gone into that?
In terms of that system, the fundamentals of that AI system come from Resident Evil 4. We're actually using the same programmer is working on that, is working on Resident Evil 5, and he's kind of powered up that AI system as well. And AI is a very tricky thing to do correctly, and that is one of the things that is causing a lot of our staff to have a lot of late nights at the moment working on that and trying to get it down. But you will see some interesting AI and some interesting attack patterns, no doubt. In the full game, you will see even cleverer enemies than the ones you saw today.
I look forward to that. I know I speak for a lot of us who are very much looking forward to the game. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.